Hello everyone, this is Ross with Market Traders Daily, and this is today's video analysis for March 6, 2020. Today we're going to take a look at the USDCAD, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar for today's trade analysis. Now, it's very important for me to recognize the fact that in about 1 hour from the recording of this video, there is going to be significant news out of both Canada and the US. We have Canadian employment data, non-farm payrolls coming out of the US at 8:30 a.m. Eastern US time. Could change everything we are talking about here on this analysis. But let's go with what the market is doing or has been doing for the past couple of weeks here for the dollar CAD. It's on the left hand side is the USD CAD. Left hand side chart is the USD CAD, and you can see primarily it has been in an uptrend for quite a while now, moving from the bottom of the chart to the top of the chart. So an uptrend. Past couple of weeks been stuck in that black box at the top. Some support right around the orange zone, 1.3325.15. Resistance, green zone, 1.3445, 34.25. Been bouncing around in there for the past couple of weeks, primarily again in an uptrend. So what's the problem right now? We've seen the far right hand side chart is the USD. That's the dollar index. It's been tumbling this week. We've seen that happen. Look at the trades we've had on the pound dollar, the euro dollar, the dollar yen, all sitting. We're sitting nearly 200 or 300 pips between those three. Actually, it's quite a bit more than that, isn't it? It's closer to 500 pips on these three trades. So 200 on the euro, 220 on the yen, and about 90 on the pound dollar. All of those are short dollar trades, selling the dollar. So why has not, especially when you look at the yen falling 220 pips, why has the dollar CAD not fallen like that with the USD tumbling so strongly? And part of the equation, and I will always say part of it because there's many parts to this equation, is crude oil. That's the middle chart that we see here. Crude oil has been tumbling as well, making new lows just today. So with crude oil falling, that's bad news for Canada and the Canadian dollar, and we see upside pressure on the dollar CAD. So there's a conflict between what crude oil is doing and what the dollar's doing, and that's not giving the dollar CAD any opportunity to go in one direction or the other. Really, truthfully, we need crude oil and the US dollar to do the opposite. So if crude oil was rising as much as it's falling and the dollar was falling, we'd see the dollar CAD moving lower. And vice versa, if crude oil is falling and the dollar was rising, we'd likely see the dollar CAD going up. And so that's why, even though some of the other dollar pairs are moving as you would expect with the dollar moving, that's why the Canadian dollar probably has been having such a rough time, is because crude oil is falling as well. Now, we do have that news coming up at 8:30 a.m. If we get significantly positive data for the US and the dollar turns higher, and significantly lower news for Canada, we may see a breakout higher in the direction of trend for the dollar CAD. However, if we get very positive for Canada and negative for the US, and the dollar continues to go down and Canada starts to improve because of good data, we may see the dollar CAD go down, especially if, for whatever reason, crude oil goes up. So as you can see, there's many pieces to this puzzle. For the dollar CAD, we have data coming up at 8:30 a.m. For both Canada and US. We have crude oil that's been falling and not really any rebound in the past week, and US dollar's been falling. So we need something to change. We need either the US to go up or down, opposite of what crude oil does. We need crude oil to go down or up, opposite of what the US is doing, and we need to see the data in line with all of that so we can get some trending direction, not really what we've seen over the past week or so for the dollar CAD.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.